Hey there, Dean. Here's my advice about staffing up. Number one is do it as quickly as possible when it doesn't put you in a financial difficulty. So my advice for any entrepreneur is to have a look at all the different tasks you have to do. Now, there's a book out there called E-Myth Revisited where it talks about entrepreneurship, myth revisited, and it's the idea that you wear all these different hats. Technician that focuses on the day-to-day, the manager which focuses on the past in order to know what needs to get done today, and the entrepreneur that's looking forward to the future, the visionary of where things want to go. And the problem is that typically the way most people start their businesses are a really good technician. They're very creative. They just start their own marketing company. They might be really good at accounting, and so they decide to open up their own practice. And they neglect, because they're so focused on the day to day, the managerial side of analyzing. Okay, what's really driving our business, and then ultimately, where's this business headed? And so, without wearing those different hats, you end up finding yourself maybe running too many hours, getting burnt out. It's because what you eventually created is you created a job where you have to go in just to be able to get the job done. And so when you look at all those tasks that you have to do, just bullet point them all out. What are the 3 to 5, maximum 5, that you enjoy doing? Oh, get you happy, there is work. Work is still a part of it, right? You can never get away from work. But what do you really enjoy? So if you really enjoy the number crunching of running your own accounting practice, that means you need a salesperson. You need a front person that's going to go out and get you new business. If you need somebody that's more on the accountability side, maybe you need an office manager that's going to be able to be very analytical. They can look at data. They can look at trends. They can create a customer service model. They can deal with the hiring and firing of people. They can create a process book of how you're going to do things. When it comes to running your own business, when you first start out, once you get probably about maybe 3 months worth of income rolling in from a sales perspective, you can probably have a look at adding an intern, adding a staff person. Now, my take on interns is going to be different from other people. I think you should be paying interns unless they're looking for a portion of equity in the business, which I wouldn't give away if you just started your business. Or if they're going to, I would prefer to pay somebody hourly or salaried plus bonus. So especially if you get hired that salesperson, they're going to run hot and heavy after commissions, right? The typical salespeople are believers in commission. They eat that stuff up. So you may be paying like $2,000 a month, and then hey, if you make a big sale over X, over $5,000 a month, and typically let's say you're paying them $2,000 a month, you make sales over $2,500 a month, because that's basically your net when you add in payroll and costs and FICA and all that fun stuff. So you make over $2,500 in sales, then I will give you an additional 10% of that sale, right? So they make $5,000 in sales that month. That means $2,500 is what you basically gave them. That $2,500, they get $250 out of that. Not bad. They will literally run through doors to get more and more commissions, and it's always uncapped. And never cap a commission, never cap a salesperson, because you'll see them leave to an uncapped opportunity. That's what they love. And so, Dean, that's what I would say. As you look at your business, what are the tasks that you need to unleash that you really enjoy, that you should be focusing on? If you're more of the creative side, if you're more of the technician, then hire a manager, hire the entrepreneur. Why do people that found companies sometimes get a CEO? Because they don't have the ability to put in the processes, and nor do they have the patience to want to be able to hire and fire and deal with the board meetings and things like that. They just want to focus on the tasks that matter. The other one that I would say is, when you look at hiring somebody, typically it's going to be either they're going to generate revenue, which is I would focus on first. If you get a salesperson in, they're going to generate revenue right out of the gate. However, if one of your Achilles heels the analytics, right, the customer service, the follow through, the minutia of the administrative stuff, the invoices, the paperwork, the setting up of meetings, then hire yourself a staff person like an executive assistant to be able to deal with that, and make sure that they understand their role is to work for you, right? So the whole point is to deal with customers, right? So if customers come in and they want coffee, I want you to get them coffee. And oh, by the way, you work for me, I want you to get me coffee. I don't drink coffee personally, but you know where I'm headed with this, is that they should understand what their role is in the cog of the machine, the business, and at the forefront of everything is the client. The client is the forefront of the business, and we all collectively, any employees that you hire, are all focused on satisfying that client in the most meaningful way as possible. And so, again, hiring, you're either going to focus on generating revenue, salespeople, looking for like maybe a marketer that's going to bring in some big deals, or you're going to look for technicians because that unleashes you to then go drive more revenue, right? If you're more the sales side person, then you're going to hire a technician. That way it unleashes you to be able to then go find new business and then bring it back and just say, hey, get it done, get it done. And then of course, if you need more of that accountability, that administrative person, hire the office manager, hire an executive assistant to be able to keep you on point, to keep you on pace. And I'd say for most people, they hire way too late and they fire way too quickly. So it's going to be a lot easier. So it's this old adage: hire slowly, fire quickly. Kind of an oxymoron with what I just said, but just stay with me for a little bit. Is take yourself through the process. Sometimes it's more beneficial to be able to hire people that are older than you, that are more experienced than you, pay a little bit more. I'd rather pay somebody $15 an hour instead of $12 an hour if I can get a better skill set, right? If they're licensed or if they're, they've been in the industry, I'd rather pay a little bit more premium because I'll get something better. At the same time, know that people aren't motivated necessarily by money. They might be more motivated by meaningful impact or independence. They want more freedom to be able to leave at Friday at 3 o'clock if they get stuff done. They want to be able to wear jeans on Friday because they're a casual day if they can get stuff done. So a lot of times you can focus on winning on a daily basis. I should talk about that in a totally different segment, but winning on a daily basis, and then you can win by the end of the week, and then boom, there's some different things there. Maybe we have dinner in on Friday, maybe we have lunch in on Friday, maybe we let everybody leave at 3 or at noon, and so there's some different things that you can do to really incentivize the employees, and don't always think it's in the mighty dollar. And then when it comes to the firing, just think about good to great. Jim Collins talks about having the right people on the right bus, the right seats. And so, number one of the most expensive things when it comes to HR is hiring people and then training them. They're going to spend a ton of money hiring people and then retraining them. So if you find that you don't have the right person, number one, see is it a skill set issue? Is it have you not trained them well enough? And then number two is are they sitting in the wrong side of the office, right? So if they're really analytical and you have them as a salesperson, you might want to move them more to an office manager role or a technician role instead of the forefront being the sales individual. And so I'd rather move that person to that role and see how we can either push myself, right? Because I'm the business owner. No one's going to care more about the business than me. Maybe I go out into that realm and I start attracting the new accounts. Because it's going to be a lot easier to train somebody up than it is going out to hire somebody new, train and develop them all over again just to get to the same point that they're at with this current employee. At the same time, if we have a culture killer, right? I'm going to call this a cancer of the company culture. They're bad-mouthing you. They're bad-mouthing our services. They're bad-mouthing clients. They're just a negative Nelly. They're a Debbie Downer. Fire them, boom, done. And so typically when I hire people, I'll tell them first 90 days, it's a dating period, right? Any time in the next 90 days, you don't like me, I don't like you, we're cutting loose. So hopefully that's helpful, and keep making it happen. Sherm's out.